So my book is a mixture of this very strong personal element and also an element of objective thinking, philosophical thinking, like what was the Disney phenomenon for everybody? How does this healing, why is it a healing? And things like that. And how did Disney influence and how did he reflect the American culture? When I went to the ride Mission Space Mars, I thought that finally the Walt Disney Company brought Walt Disney back, because that ride, I thought it was the Disney essence, the Walt Disney essence. It put together apparently irreconcilable extremes. Like it grants you a physical experience of spirit, which sounds almost contradictory. Like the ride gives you this feeling of spiritual ascendance through guts and sight. So I think that they put together two heterogeneous extremes there, in which Walt Disney did all the time. You know, he put fake together with real, you know, organic with inorganic, and all these extremes, and he himself was a man of extremes. So when I came out of that ride, on that same day, I took a Disney bus to, I think from MGM, and the rider of the bus, who was a lady, she went on talking about facts on Walt Disney's life and quizzing the audience of the bus that was very assorted. But what was nice in it is that I could see how proud she was of working for Disney, mainly because of Walt Disney. I've had two spiritual experiences, actually, because one was this one artificially induced, you know, induced by technology, and the other one was to hear a simple verbal thanksgiving to Walt Disney. And I thought that was, to use one of your sentences, but I really thought that was the closing of the circle. It put together these two extremes. And In Search of Disney also refers to this personal search. I love the Disney aficionados, including myself in it, because they are people, I think, that are grateful enough to honor that first moment of being totally aware of happiness. I think it's the Disney seed that germinated in each of us. And so to honor that moment, to search for Disney, is also to search for yourself and for that moment. So I will show a picture of a sculpture of Walt Disney made out of that photography by my brother, who is a very good artist, a very good sculptor in South America. Then, on a collective level, I analyze Disney animation as a very, very wholesome support. And that is why I think it was so healing, because it played parental support, psychologically speaking, on one's mind. It had the side of authority, of sending you a message of discipline, of integrity. And it was an authority of its own because of the simple fact of being, you know, as they call an illusion of life, but nonetheless a life. And also it sent always that message of integrity and discipline. And so this is the side of the father support in one's head, and the maternal side of being immensely granting of pleasure, of sweetness. It's something that it made you feel like, you know, mother's pure love. And that's the feminine support of it. So it's very wholesome. Then it also gave you a support on the metaphysical level, because of the fact that it is transmitting another reality. It is a reinvention of the physical element. And it has this organic quality of talking to you physically. That's why little kids do not need to really understand what's going on, but they love it, because they feel it's through eyes and ears. And with all the colors of the rainbow. So that is very you know, Disney with that, he gave immediacy to fantasy. Fantasy until then was something that, you know, you couldn't see it. You had to imagine it or to infer it out of a story, but you could not see it. It was not so immediate. And he giving this immediacy to fantasy, it was a very big turning point, of course, and he transmitted with that, his team, Disney Creation, he transmitted this feeling of this reality in which everything made sense. It is life, that illusion of life is life as pure meaning. Everything in it works, nothing is gratuitous. So it is a metaphysical support in this sense. And then I stress a lot the mystical element of it. Mystical in the sense that the fundamental characteristic of the mystical is a communication between different realities, like mind and matter, man and his surroundings, and that kind of thing that you see in Disney animation. And this mystical element of Disney animation, anyway, so this mystical dimension was extended to Disneyland with Disney storytelling rides. Because when you are in a Disney ride, you become a character, at the same time you remain a spectator. So it puts together being a spectator with being a character. And more even important is that what the ride is there for you. It's an immense generosity out of Disney that the ride happens because of you. It is a storyline that you become a part of. So you kind of recreate it by, quote unquote, buying into it. So Disney has this immense generosity of giving you the gift of generosity, because in a Disney storytelling ride, you becoming a creature of Walt Disney. You become a character, at least when you really like the ride, you know. And at the same time, with Walt Disney, you become a creator too.
It's a small